our first goal was to like spread more positivity and love,
Yeah.
and people to see that we can coexist even with our differences.
Hanji.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that. We faced a lot of hate like at our wedding reception, but it was the aftermath that people were sharing it for all the wrong reasons. And that's when we decided, you know what, we want to control our fate. We want to know why we got married and share our story. So out of all the places he could have came to Canada, like he came to Trail, my little hometown. That's like barely on a map, you know?
Yeah.
And working at the same little store that I was working at. And yeah, so we started out as coworkers and then friends, and now we're best friends in love. Yeah.
That's so cool. And
We go with the quote that is me and Liss against the world.
oh,
So that's we think all the time when we receive hate, but we receive love more. So the love we receive is overweighing the hate.
so how was the experience? Thoda kiਵੇਂ ਤਜਰਬਾ ਰਿਹਾ India ਜਾ ਕੇ? How did you find it?
I've never experienced hospitality like that before, actually.
Yeah.
When you go to somebody's house and they like offer you multiple drinks and like all the snacks, and then you want to stay for dinner.
Especially my dad, he was the director of so many videos we made in India.
अच्छा जी.
Yeah. Yeah, there was this one video, and he said, if this doesn't go well, then you can change my name.
Hanji, oh my god. जी हाँ, it's time for our Sunday Spotlight, and आज ਦੀ Sunday Spotlight एक नहीं, दो ने, because we actually have a very beautiful and sweet couple joining us in the studios today. जिन्हां ਨੂੰ मैं ਤਾਂ follow ਕਰਦੀ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਚਿਰ ਤੋਂ, and I'm sure you guys have all seen them on social media. They're just the cutest. Today we have Parminder and Melissa Deol joining us. Liss and Nikk are in the house. ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਇੰਨੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ followers ਨੇ TikTok ਤੇ over 76,000 followers, Instagram ਤੇ 135,000 ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਲੋਕ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ. YouTube ਤੇ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ 24,000 ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ followers ਨੇ, and it's not just about the followers and the views. ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਮਿਸਾਲ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਲਈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਯਕੀਨ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਨੇ. If you go on their Instagram, you'll see that their bio is living in the beauty of our differences. And that's because these guys are actually living out an interfaith marriage, not only just for themselves, but also for the world to see just how beautiful it can be. And so ਉਹਨਾਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਮੈਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੀ. I'm gonna ask them to say hi and introduce themselves. And I also want to say such a huge thank you, because I know that you're not locally from Vancouver. Thoda bahut ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਉਣ ਲਈ. Thank you so much, LissandNikk, for joining us today.
Aw, Bahad Donwad, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us here.
Aw, and this is your first interview, guys, है ना?
Yes.
Hanji.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for choosing Red FM. We're so happy ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਹੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ. ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ obviously you guys make social media content all the time, and this is your first interview. When you're making content, ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਗੋਲ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ? What's your goal? Where do you want your content going? What's the drive behind what you do?
I think our first goal was to like spread more positivity and love,
Yeah.
and people to see that we can coexist even with our differences.
Hanji.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that. We faced a lot of hate like at our wedding reception, actually. Like our wedding guests, they filmed us and they spread that on the internet, which is totally fine. Like
Yeah.
everyone does that. We had no problem with that. But it was the aftermath that people were sharing it for all the wrong reasons. And that's when we decided, you know what, we want to control our fate. We want to know why we got married and share our story so that people knew our side of things.
That is so beautiful.
That's when we started our page and started sharing our life.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause
I
you-
didn't know that.
Yeah, because you can let the world define who you are, or you can put yourself out there and make a difference. And
Wow. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start a quotes page, because you guys are saying such amazing things, and I have to note down the things you're saying. And Sanu, ਇਹ ਵੀ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ obviously, by the way, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ listeners ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸ ਦੇਵਾਂ ਕਿ obviously Nick ਤਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਨੇ, but Liss is a learner. She's learning Punjabi,
Yes.
so that's how we're going to be mixing English and Punjabi today. But I want to know, obviously, ਪਹਿਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਤਾਂ I didn't know that your channel started out of like this story where somebody posted something about you.
Yeah.
But I want to rewind a little bit.
Okay.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕਹਾਣੀ ਕੀ ਆ? How did you guys meet? And I know you're, starting this new series as well where you talk about how everything came to be. ਪਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੁਣਨ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਦੱਸੋ, what's your story? How'd you connect?
ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਹਾਣੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਈ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਆਇਆ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ I was in college in Castlegar and then I got a part-time job in Trail and that's where Melissa was working, so we actually met in person.
Yeah.
Oh.
Out of all the places he could have came to Canada, like he came to Trail, my little hometown. That's like barely on a map,
Yeah.
and working at the same little store that I was working at. And so we started out as coworkers and then friends, and now we're best friends in love. Yeah.
That's so cool. And I actually recently did find out where Trail is, but for those of you, for the listeners who don't know, tell them where Trail is and also tell them where you guys live now as well. A
Yeah.
lot of people think that you're not even from BC. So.
Okay. Trail is in the West Kootenays.
Yeah. West Kootenay, like 7-hour drive from Vancouver. It's like middle of Calgary and Vancouver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's right along the border of Washington. It's like a 10-minute drive to Washington border.
Okay.
And my hometown is called Fruitvale, which is another 10-minute drive outside of Trail. So like nobody even knows Fruitvale.
Yeah.
But we say Trail because that's where we work. That's where all the business is, honestly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So like who approached the other person first to be friends with?
I think it came naturally actually because
Yeah.
we just like started talking while we were working.
Yeah.
But
But we were
Yeah.
working like in opposite departments
Okay.
and we started talking, helping each other out during work.
yeah.
ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਹੌਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਬਣੀ.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਆ
And ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ of course Liss, I'm going to ask you the same thing, ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਨਿੱਕ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ because ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕਿ same religion ਤੇ ਸੇਮ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਸੇਮ ਕਲਚਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰਵਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਆ ਤੇ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਟੋਲਰੈਂਟ ਹੋਈਏ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਘੱਟ ਹੁੰਨੇ ਆ ਸੋ ਆਈ ਵਾਂਟ ਟੂ ਆਸਕ ਯੂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਮਨਾਇਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਨਾਉਣਾ ਵੀ ਪਿਆ ਜਾਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੀਜਰ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਤਾਂ ਚਲੋ ਗੱਲ ਬਣ ਗਈ ਆਪਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਰ ਦੂਜੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਬਾਇਨ ਲੈਣਾ
ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਧਾਰਮਿਕ ਨੇ
ਓਕੇ
ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਫੇਥ ਬਟ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਵੈਲਿਊਜ਼ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੇਖੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਸੇਮ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਇਸੇ ਕਾਰਨਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਡੀ ਵੈਲਿਊ ਸੇਮ ਸੀ we both don't drink, we don't party, we don't do drugs like that. So and when my parents saw that and they thought that we are not that much different. But I would like to give the credit to my brother. My elder brother, I told him first about Melissa and then he break the news to my parents.
ਆ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਆਪ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਈ ਵੱਡਾ ਭਰਾ ਕੰਮ ਆ ਗਿਆ
Yeah, so he has a big role in our marriage. Yeah.
Oh, that's good, man. Shout out to your big brother for making this happen. And Liss, how about you? How was it convincing your family, or did it take any convincing at all?
It did take some convincing because they did have expectations for me to marry in the same faith and everything. But once they got to know him, that's really what it was.
Yeah.
Once they got to know who he is, that's when they were like, okay, he is like normal, like he's such a great person, like his values are the same, like
Yeah. Okay. Honestly, like I feel like this is a really big thing because no matter what religion alag hove, at the end of the day, je values mildiyan ne, that's all that matters. And kudos to your families, jinnah ne actually open mind rakhiya te mile ek duje nu. But still, like you were saying, people were posting hate videos and whatnot, hai na? Te fir jado ਘਰ ਵਾਲੇ ਮੰਨ ਗਏ, everything was good to go, you guys are wedding planning. Did you actually get people saying, what are you doing? Or did you get hate coming your way? When you have all of that noise, ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਿਵੇਂ deal ਕੀਤਾ?
I think we go with the quote that is me and Liss against the world.
Oh.
So that's we think all the time when we receive hate. But we receive love more. So the love we receive is overweighing the hate. So that's why we are standing here.
Oh, that's super sweet. I actually want to ask you a question, Nick, jo ke thoda je unfair because you guys are honestly both perfect for each other. But every video that you guys post, there's always people asking Nick, tips though, Paji, tips though. Ki tusi kita ki? How did you make this happen? So on behalf of all those people, I want to ask you ke key tips are to, je tusi, if you like somebody, how to make it happen.
Respect. That's the only tip I can give. Like, if you respect your partner and their decisions, then nothing can come in between you. Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's so sweet. And to see this, so what would you say is the sweetest quality that you love in Nick the most? ਜਿਹੜੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵਧੀਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਆ ਜੇ ਇੱਕ ਚੁਣਨੀ ਹੋਵੇ
He's such a sensitive, pure soul.
Aw.
He really is. He's so genuine and so loyal. I've already said too many.
That's so nice. ਚਲੋ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਪਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ different cultures ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ. You come from different cultures, right?
Yeah.
And although your values are the same, there's bound to be differences in upbringing. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੱਡੇ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਤਰੀਕਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਏ ਹੋ and even things like music, food and whatnot, things can be different as well. Differences ਵੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਦੇ culture ਤੋਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵਧੀਆ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਆ? What's like the biggest or the most important thing or the most valuable thing that you've learned from each other's culture and that you've adopted in your own?
Oh, that's a good question.
ਜੇ ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿਣੀ ਹੋਵੇ or I can give you some time to think about it if you need some time to think. ਉਦੋਂ ਤੱਕ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ cultures ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਹੋ ਹੈ ਨਾ? You guys both went to India together, right? You guys had a chance to stay there. Tell us ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਗਏ ਸੀਗੇ, ਕਿੱਥੇ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ and ਉਹ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਦਾ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਸੀਗਾ? ਉੱਥੇ ਤਾਂ ਬੜੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਮਿਲੇ ਹੋਣੇ ਆ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਕਾਮਨ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਗੀ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਨੇ ਆਊਟ ਆਫ ਕਲਚਰ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰਵਾਇਆ ਹੋਇਆ, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਕੋਈ ਕਮੈਂਟਰੀ ਪਾਸ ਕੀਤੀ, ਕਿਵੇਂ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਦਾ ਰਿਹਾ? ਆਈ ਵਾਂਟ ਟੂ ਨੋ.
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਸਾਡਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਜਿਵੇਂ 2019 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਸਾਡੀ ਪਲੈਨਿੰਗ ਸੀ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰਵਾਉਣ ਦੀ, ਬਟ ਕੋਵਿਡ ਹੈਪਨਡ ਐਂਡ ਦੈਨ ਦੈਟ plan got cancelled. And then it was so long time that I visited India, so we decided to save some money and go for like long period then to make everybody happy. And it was like a coincidence that all my friends decided to get married at the same time when we were planning that trip. So it was such an amazing experience. We went to like 12 to 14 weddings over there. And so many people came to us with like positive and encouraging comments. It was such a nice trip. Yeah, I love attending all those weddings and meeting all his friends, and I love I love the music and the clothes, and the vibe is so good. But you have to take time though, because the music is so loud. I've never experienced
it. Gets loud. It's like you're constantly in a Bollywood movie. When you're attending Indian weddings. Liss, how did you enjoy? I'm sure you got a lot of attention while you were there. People were probably like asking you things or making you feel at home and comfortable, I hope. So how was the experience? Thoda kiਵੇਂ ਤਜਰਬਾ ਰਿਹਾ India ਜਾ ਕੇ? How did you find it?
I've never experienced hospitality like that before, actually. When you go to somebody's house and they like offer you multiple drinks and like all the snacks and then you want to stay for dinner. I've never experienced that before, so I really appreciated that.
And was that the first time you met Nick's parents?
No, his parents came here actually.
They came here for my graduation. And then came for our wedding, and we also went in 2019 and got engaged in India.
Okay. So Liss, the kafi zyada variant. I feel like you had more India trips than I've had. Oh no, based on this conversation. That's amazing. And I also want to know ki, obviously jidi wedding hundi hai, the wedding itself is just like the beginning, hai na? The asli marriage starts after the wedding. That's when everything actually starts. Now, give us your honest answer on how hard or how easy is it to make an interfaith and intercultural marriage work? Kinna kokha ya kediyan ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਿਲਾਂ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ?
I think the beginning part was difficult. ਸ਼ੁਰੂਆਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਔਖੀ ਸੀ. Language is the most biggest, like I would say the barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still learning that.
ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ 'ਚ ਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾਤਰ ਜਾਂ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਜਾਂ ਮਿਕਸ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ
Mostly English
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਤੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੀ।
ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਵੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਸ ਕਾਫੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ ਕਰਵਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਔਰ ਲਾਈਕ how do you learn Punjabi Liss like what's your sort of go-to strategy on learning new words
Honestly, just like a list of whatever he tells me.
okay I hope I'm teaching her good words
In India, it was definitely easier because I was immersed in the culture, and every day I learned new words and new phrases.
yeah
But it's like the constant struggle of learning to express myself in word format, like the
Yeah.
sentence structure.
yeah
That's the most difficult part.
true
But like memorizing phrases and words, that's as far as I've gotten.
so what's your like favorite go-to phrase that you're like I've got this nailed down I can say this in Punjabi
Bahat Danwad.
ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ I love that ਚਲੋ we're talking about you know interculture marriage and whatnot ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ difficult ਹੈ it can be difficult to make that work however I think it's even harder ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ social media ਤੇ present ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ videos ਬਣਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ you're making content you're really putting yourself out there so ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ videos ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ what's your take or strategy or process ਕਿ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ internet ਤੇ ਪਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ culturally sensitive ਹੋਵੇ ਉਹ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਭਾਵਨਾਵਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਠੇਸ ਨਾ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ comment ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਆ ਕਿ this is wrong or what not people are entitled to their opinions ਹੈ ਨਾ so how do you make sure ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ content is sensitive to that
We always choose to make content based on where we are and who we're with. So like when we were in India, we did things and we didn't do things because of where we were and who we were with, because we wanted to respect that.
True.
Up and foremost.
Yeah, like some occasions there were like controversies going on, but we stopped at that time. We're not making videos right now.
ਹਾਂਜੀ
Take a break. So to respect both cultures, so we
Hanji.
had to take breaks. Yeah.
that's good ਤੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦੋਸਤ ਮਿੱਤਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ you know ਘਰ ਦੇ ਨੇ how do they feel about you making videos ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਆ are they happy about it ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਵੀ ਆ ਕੀ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ
No, they've been supporting from beginning. Yeah.
Hanji.
Especially my dad. He was the director of so many videos we made in India.
ਅੱਛਾ ਜੀ
Yeah. Yeah, there was this one video and he said, if this doesn't go well, then you can change my name.
Anji, oh my God, that's too funny. I love that so much. And I also want to know ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ future ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਹੜੇ projects ਬਾਰੇ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ what are the different things that you want to do where do you see yourself going from here when it comes to your social media work
Like you said, we already started a series on YouTube called Spilling the Cha. ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੋਸਟ ਕਾਮਨ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਲੋਕੀ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ ਬਟ ਔਨ ਇੰਸਟਾਗ੍ਰਾਮ ਵੀ ਆਰ ਪਲੈਨਿੰਗ ਔਨ ਸਟਾਰਟਿੰਗ ਅ ਨਿਊ ਸੀਰੀਜ਼ ਐਜ਼ ਵੈਲ
Yeah, and that's more like my heritage.
okay
Like we've shared like Punjabi culture and Canadian culture, but now we want to incorporate some of my background.
yeah
And my culture is really into like I'm Scandinavian.
oh okay
Yeah, and so like over there during like the winter and fall seasons, we celebrate hygge moments, and that is really just like embracing the simple little things in everyday life.
Aw.
And we're really gonna showcase that through our series coming up in the fall. So I'm excited to
that's
share
so exciting.
my part in the community, and I hope everybody else enjoys it as well.
That's so nice. And I think that's important ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੱਖਰੇ backgrounds ਤੋਂ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ you adopt each other's culture and each other's traditions equally and ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਦੋਵੇਂ ਪਾਸੋਂ ਹੀ acceptance ਉਹ ਆਵੇ of you two who's the funnier one
Parminder.
ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਲੇਸਾ
ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਿਲਸਾ ਤੇ ਘਰੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਠੀਕ ਆ ਜੀ ਓਕੇ ਐਂਡ who gets angrier faster ਗੁੱਸਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਿਹਨੂੰ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਜੇ faster ਕੋਈ angry ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਕੌਣ ਆ
ਮਲੇਸਾ
Melissa, okay.
I think I'm gonna blame my low blood sugar on that.
It's a medical issue. Yeah. Okay. And ਪਹਿਲਾ ਮਨਾਉਂਦਾ ਕੌਣ ਆ? Who's the first one to say sorry?
Parminder.
Parminder's doing things right.
I'm sorry,
Tea.
here's some food. Yeah.
ਅੱਛਾ ਤੇ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਾਂ, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. What's the last, or not the last thing, what's the most common thing you guys like argue about or have a disagreement about, or ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਗੱਡੀ ਅੜ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ? Like, is it small things like where to go eat? Like, what sparks discussion?
I don't know, like, honestly, like, what it would be about, but it's always either because we're tired or we're hungry. So I think it's like, it could be anything, but if we're tired and we're hungry, then we're like, oh, we just need to eat and we'll be okay.
Hanji, that's true.
I think according to me, it's just like general question that where do we want to eat? And it's hard for her to decide.
ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਡਿਸਐਗਰੀਮੈਂਟਸ ਹੋਣ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਕਾਰਨ ਇਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਜਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਬੰਦਾ ਬਹੁਤਾ ਹੀ ਥੱਕਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਜਾਂ ਭੁੱਖ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੋਈ ਆ। ਓਕੇ, out of both of you, ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਖਾਣਾ ਕੌਣ ਬਣਾਉਂਦਾ? Who's the better cook?
Parminder.
Is it Parminder? Parminder ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਹੋ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਪਰ ਬ੍ਰੈਕਫਾਸਟ ਹੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ।
ਬ੍ਰੈਕਫਾਸਟ ਇਹ ਵਧੀਆ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ। ਚਲੋ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਡਿਊਟੀਆਂ ਵੰਡ ਲਓ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਵੀ ਬ੍ਰੈਕਫਾਸਟ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਤੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਚਲੋ ਵਧੀਆ ਗੱਲ ਆ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਐਗਰੀਮੈਂਟ 'ਚ ਬੜੀ ਛੇਤੀ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ। That's good. ਤੇ ਜੇ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੋਵੇ, ਕਿਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੋਵੇ, who takes longer to get ready? ਤਿਆਰ ਹੋਣ ਲਈ ਕੌਣ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਲੈਂਦਾ?
Melissa.
100% true.
Melissa's like, I'm not even gonna argue on that one. Okay, awesome. ਤੇ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ contest ਹੋਵੇ ਵੀ ਕੌਣ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਖਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਆ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ, who can eat the most in like an eating contest, who would win?
Melissa.
It's true.
I love that so much. ਅੱਛਾ ਤੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ go to cuisine ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਾਂ, what's your go to cuisine? ਜੇ ਕਿਤੇ ਕੁਝ ਖਾਣਾ ਹੋਵੇ, ਕੀ ਖਾਣਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗਦਾ? Indian or just like
Indian.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's all about mood too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. We used to really love Chinese food, but now we don't eat it because it just makes us sick all the time.
Okay, so it depends on the day. Okay, got it. ਤੇ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸਹਿਜ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕੌਣ ਸੁਣਦਾ? Who's the better listener out of both of you?
I think both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why this is working, guys, right?
Yeah.
You guys are both good listeners. That's sweet. That's sweet. And Melissa, I want to actually know from you, because Punjabi gaane are like their own genre, Punjabi music, right? When you got married to him, was he playing Punjabi music all the time? And did you have to get used to that? Did you get into Punjabi music, or like how was that for you?
Yeah, no, like when we started hanging out, like that's when I was introduced to it first.
Okay.
And so I had already had like my own little playlist when we started hanging out. So, but yeah, he definitely listens to it more than whatever. But actually, when we took drives like during our marriage, it's like it's equal. Like one's my song, one's his song, one's my song. Yeah. Our playlist is very mixed.
Oh, that's good. Good. ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਵੈਸੇ ਥੋੜੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ strategy ਲੱਗਦੀ ਹੈ, just to keep it 50-50.
Yeah.
So everybody's happy. But I'm curious, Nick, ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕਦੇ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼, ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ 'ਚ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਐਂਡ ਫਿਰ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਟਰਾਂਸਲੇਟ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਔਖਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਕਦੇ ਨਿਕਲਦੀ ਆ ਥੋੜੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ with Liss? Does it ever happen ਕਿ you want to say something but ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਨਿਕਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ and Liss is like, what are you saying? Tell us a bit about that. ਕਦੋਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿਵੇਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਫਿਰ?
Especially when I'm tired, ਜਦੋਂ ਥੱਕੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਈ ਕਿਸੇ ਗੱਲ ਤੇ ਆਰਗੂਮੈਂਟ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਨਿਕਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਵਿੱਚ।
ਚਲੋ ਫਿਰ Liss ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਟਰਾਂਸਲੇਟ ਕਰਨਾ? ਜੇ ਲੜਾਈ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਟਰਾਂਸਲੇਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਬੜਾ ਔਖਾ ਲੱਗੇ।
Well, like, yeah, when she hears my Punjabi, then she starts speaking her gibberish. So then I remember, okay.
That's how it feels.
Yeah, I have to start English again.
That's funny. That's funny. I love that so much. Okay, and last question that I want to ask you guys as part of this game is ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ emotional, ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ caring ਕੌਣ ਆ? Who's the more emotional and caring one?
I think we're the same.
Yeah, literally same person.
Oh, that's so nice. Twin flames. I love that. I love that so much. Okay, chalo, hey game ta I think ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੋਨੋਂ ਹੀ ਜਿੱਤਦੇ ਹੋ because you guys were so honest and so agreeable. ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਲੈਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ. It was all very ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀਪੂਰਵਕ ਸਾਰਾ ਇਹ game ਹੋਈ. Yeah, that's amazing. I want to ask you guys a very interesting question. ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਈ and it's not like ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਬੁਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਪਰ obviously when you get married to somebody there's things you find out or when you live together there's things you find out about each other so ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ that you found out after you got married to each other or living together or maybe just like you know annoying habits or like you were like oh I did not know Nick does this when he wakes up or he leaves a towel on the bed so ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ when you got married to each other that you found out about after you got married and then you had to kind of adapt to that and ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ adapt ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ
I think we were like an open book from the beginning.
ਹਾਂਜੀ
That's why our marriage is working. And but I want to tell about one incident.
ਹਾਂਜੀ
When we were first dating and she saw my long hair till my knees, she was so surprised.
ਅੱਛਾ ਸੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲੰਬੇ ਵਾਲ ਆ ਪੱਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਪਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਇੰਨੇ ਲੰਬੇ ਵਾਲ ਨੇ
ਅੱਛਾ okay so Liss when you saw Nick's long hair what was running through your head were you like damn I wish I had that long hair Or like,
Yeah, no, honestly, I was because my hair was only to like my waist and I was wanting longer hair.
yeah
Yeah, no, I thought it was the coolest thing.
ਅੱਛਾ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਪੱਗ ਦੀ ਪੂਣੀ ਕਰਵਾਉਣੇ ਹੋ do you help Nick with tying his turban you know like
Yes, I do poon. Like I help him with that.
so sweet I love that so much ਚਲੋ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ ਜੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਬਟ ਹੁਣ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਪਾਬੰਦ ਆ ਸੋ ਜਾਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ I want to ask you guys what's your message to everybody who loves watching your content ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਲੋਕੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਕੀ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ message and also your message to those who are trying to make an intercultural or interfaith marriage work
ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ people who are following us throughout this journey and
Yeah, I would say our message is to always choose respect and love. That's our secret ingredient.
That's the secret, guys. Like Nick ਨੂੰ ਸਾਰੇ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਕਿ Nick ਵੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਕੀ ਆ what's your tip? Respect and love is the biggest thing, right?
Yeah, and when you respect somebody, you want to learn everything about them. And also when they're learning, you don't want to push them out of their bounds, like
True.
out of their comfort zone. You want to take things slow and because it is kind of like totally different thinking can happen. So you're not used to it. So you just want to give yourself time, respect, and you don't want to push your partner to do things that they don't want to do. So yeah, just always choose respect and love.
That's so beautiful. Thank you again. बहुत ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਆਉਣ ਦੇ ਲਈ and we appreciate you making the drive out here and ਤੁਹਾਡਾ suit ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਹਣਾ I had to
thank you,
compliment
thank
your
you.
suit before we wrapped up. Last question ਜਾਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੁਣਨ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ ਤੇ eventually ਦੇਖਣ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਫੋਲੋ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ how can they get in touch with you on social media
so ਸਾਡਾ ਯੂਜ਼ਰ ਨੇਮ ਹੈ LissandNikk Instagram Facebook TikTok ਤੇ YouTube ਤੇ LissandNikk ਟਾਈਪ ਕਰੋ ਤੇ ਸਰਚ ਕਰੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ
Awesome. Thank you so much guys. ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਤੇ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜੋੜੀ ਬਣੀ ਰਵੇ ਸਲਾਮਤ ਰਹੇ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਵੱਧਦਾ ਰਵੇ
Thank you so much.
ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ,
Thank
thank
you.
you.